And good afternoon, or good evening, or good morning, whatever time you find yourself watching this video. Today, I finally caved. I've seen this knife in various iterations, and I was feeling it on a show with my buddies at Atlantic Knife, and they had it at a ridiculously discounted rate. And I went ahead and bought it, and they were shocked when I did it too. They thought that my wallet had run away from home and I couldn't buy anything more on that particular show. But I showed them, didn't I? Take my money. This is the Microtech MSI. MSI stands for Microtech Standard Edition. And this is the MSI stands for Standard Issue. And this particular guy is with the polymer handle, flag, apocalyptic finish, 210T-10. Let's look at it. Microtech swag sticker, their blade and board show, culinary show, and their various packaging. Folding talks about their various knives, except the RAM-LOK, which this knife is a RAM-LOK Microtech. RAM-LOK is their closing system. It's on an Omni spring. Nice weight to the knife. Flag pattern on a polymer handle. This particular knife so immediate thoughts. It's not as hefty as I thought it would be. Now let's look here. Hold on, where's my spyglass here? MSI 0925. This is a brand spanking new knife. This came out in September of 25. So the scale, it's a polymer scale, and the scales are injected molded, and you see these little, I don't know if we can see, but they're little, they call that tri-grip. It's a grippy raised pattern just to assist. Here's your reversible pocket clip. Microtech always has nice large size hardware. This is the RAM-LOK. You can see the spring in there. Jimping on the spine, the back spacer. It's probably aluminum back spacer. Let's see the action. Easy peasy action. Sheep's foot blade, super sharp like Microtechs are. Bowler M390 MK steel. If this is the apocalyptic finish, let's clean her off really fast. If you haven't seen my other Microtech video review, I met Mike from Microtech at the NRA show in Atlanta 2025, and we talked, and I said, okay, look, what's the deal with the MK on your steel? I know what M390 is. It's a bowler steel, very premium steel, good action on the retraction there. But what makes the MK, what makes it special? Some jimping here on the spine of the knife. And Mike says, well, nothing makes it special. It is just M390. If anyone tells you it's different, they're lying to you, because basically the MK, Microtech buys so much bowler steel that they get their own designation. The MK just stands for Microtech knives. So we see the blade is about 3 1/4 of cutting edge inches, small finger choil. The RAM-LOK is secure. Microtech at one point in time had some issues with their, I guess, their first generation RAM-LOKs. This particular knife, buttery smooth. We'll try a combat deployment. Easy peasy, nice detent smack, you know. Very nice feeling knife. Now, I'm gonna be very honest. I like this knife. I've liked the shape. It wasn't my favorite Microtech shape. But as I've been reviewing more and more knives, I just started looking at and appreciating a lot of Microtech's offerings. There's the MSI, there's a stitch. And I have an amphibian somewhere. I just don't know where. My desk is so cluttered at the moment, it's fairly embarrassing. So I don't know. It's somewhere. So at this point I have 3 Microtechs, and just all of them are top notch, just absolutely top notch. As you can see, very different knife stylings. The MSI is more of a utilitarian EDC. I mean, you could use it for tactical. That sheepfoot blade is not as stabby as definitely not as stabby as a stitch. And you can see, comparing the two handles, stitch is much more aggressive. Designed for tactical use, and of course this stitch is partially serrated. Both RAM-LOKs. They make a stitch auto that I have been really thinking about, but it's out of my price range at the moment. No reason for me to get that one right now. I understand that they may have had at one point in time, in an earlier generation of the MSI, an automatic MSI, which would be pretty cool. But as it stands now, the action on this guy is really good. I mean, there's no effort there. And if you wanted to play with the RAM-LOK, you certainly can. And very sharp. Good for draw cuts, things like that. You're not gonna ferro rod this guy, but you could feather stick. So it's sort of up to you. The overall length of this guy is right at 9 inches. It's a good size knife. And if we were looking at the blade, if we're looking at it up to the bolster area, it's a 4-inch blade, but you know, as we said earlier, the cutting edge is little south of 3.5 inches. I love the action. I love the ergos of the handle. I just don't like the overall feel of this polymer handle. To me, makes this premium knife feel less than. And I may be too critical here. I'm not sure that I am being too critical. You know, it's 4.69 ounces. Let's get the stitch and see. Again, they're very different knives. 4.69 for the MSI. 6.2, so almost exactly 1.5 ounces difference in the weights. They may have third-party scale manufacturers. What was it? One is something goat. I don't know if Flitanium makes scales for the MSI, but I'm going to look at that. Would I still carry this? Absolutely, every day and twice on Sunday. Great knife. Took me a long time to settle on a MSI, but glad I did. Really, really like it. Again, I'm going to carry this guy around. Okay, I'm going to carry it around. I'm going to see if the polymer scales grow on me. If they don't, I'm going to look into replacement scales, see how much they are, because unfortunately replacement scales are typically not cheap, you know. And we just got to make that would be an executive decision. If I get replacement scales, I'll ask this question: is there any interest in a video of me swapping the scales out? Some of my first like 2 videos, I added a karambit ring to a cold steel code 4. So anyhow, that's it seems like a long time ago I made those videos, but any other versions? I mean, there's a million versions, but for my subscribers or viewers, does anybody have an MSI other than this? We, again, in love with the action. Absolutely no complaints about that. This is superb, and the feel in the hand is really good. So, you know, more to come on whether or not I just say, no, I learned how to either live or appreciate the polymer handle scales, or maybe, okay, gang, we're gonna put on some aluminum or some other more substantial scales. So, but Microtech MSI SE Tri-Grip, very nice very nice knife that the folks at Microtech put out here, and I certainly appreciate it. And again, I appreciate my buddy C at Atlantic Knife for tempting me and making me buy this damn thing. So if you haven't already, please like and subscribe for more content. And tell me what you think. What would you like? Any knives? I have, I don't know, over 50 videos of different knives, and I try to show people knives that interest me, but I'm wondering what interests you. So suggestions. My knife videos are typically unboxings. I have a bunch of knives that aren't in boxes that I'm happy to do reviews on. Some I will because they're just great knives, and some haven't seen the light of day since the 90s and things like that. So some of those knives, people don't even know about. So more to come on those. But if there are particular knife brands or styles you want me to explore, let me know. If I'm able, I will take it under advisement. I will take requests, and I will try to give you a good overview of a knife that you may be interested in purchasing, thinking about it, wondering about it, all that good stuff. So happy to do it, because remember, life is hard. Don't complain. Until next time, take care.